Good evening, everyone. Late breaking news: an arrest in the death of a 6-year-old girl, Jersey Bridgeman. Bentonville police just wrapped up a news conference, and 4029's Jay Plyburn has this live late breaking news from the Bentonville Police Department. Jay?
Laura, Bentonville police say 28-year-old Zachary Dwayne Holly was arrested this evening, charged with capital murder, kidnapping, and residential burglary. He lived right next door to Jersey Bridgeman, and police say he was an acquaintance of the family. However, he was not a family member. Let's take a look at some of that video from earlier last week when the investigation got underway. Jersey was reported missing last Tuesday, and police found her body just 2 doors down from where she lived within minutes of the disappearance. Until today, police maintained there were no suspects or person of interest, but that all changed this evening.
Do we ever really know anyone? It's cases like this that make you wonder. A hardworking single mother, struggling to balance her job and care for her daughters, placed her trust in the seemingly kind couple next door. They offered their help with genuine smiles and open arms, creating an illusion of a safe haven. Little did she know, beneath the neighbor's friendly facade lurked a monster. In a moment of unimaginable horror, a trusted friend shattered the tranquility of their lives, committing a crime so brutal that it left the entire community, and indeed the world, reeling in shock and disbelief. This chilling event forces us to confront a deeply unsettling question. How well do we truly know those around us? The neighbor who waves hello each morning, the friend we confide in, the caregiver we rely on. Could any one of them be hiding a sinister secret? Trust, once broken, is hard to rebuild, and stories like this sear into our consciousness the painful reminder that appearances can be deceiving. As we grapple with the aftermath of such a heinous act, we are left to ponder the unsettling reality that even those we believe we know best may harbor the darkest of secrets. Before we dive into the details of Jersey's tragic case, let's get to know this sweet, adorable little girl who brought so much light and love to everyone around her. Jersey Diane Bridgeman was a radiant beacon of joy and love who touched the lives of everyone fortunate enough to know her. Born on November 14, 2006 in Siloam Springs, Arkansas, her entrance into the world marked the beginning of an unfortunately tragic and short life. Precious little Jersey had boundless energy and the most adorable smile that could light up the darkest room, her eyes that twinkled with an endless curiosity about the world around her. Jersey had a true zest for life and a myriad of favorite things that brought her immense joy. She loved playing with her dolls, each one a cherished friend in her imaginative adventures. Her favorite color was a vibrant shade of pink, which matched her bubbly personality perfectly. Jersey found beauty in the simplest things, from the way the sunlight danced through the leaves to the comforting warmth of her grandparents' embrace. A kindergartner at Sugar Springs Elementary in Bentonville, Arkansas, school was a place where Jersey thrived. Not just in her academic pursuits, but in the friendships she cultivated. She had a natural curiosity and a love for learning that made her a bright student. Her teachers often spoke of her eagerness to help her classmates and her infectious enthusiasm during story time. Jersey's laughter was a staple in the classroom, a sound that brought smiles to the faces of her peers and teachers alike. Family was the cornerstone of Jersey's life. She shared a special bond with her grandparents and little sister, who adored her deeply. Jersey's presence was the glue that held everyone together, her tender heart and caring nature making her an irreplaceable part of her family's fabric. In every way, little Jersey was a beautiful soul inside and out. Her spirit continues to inspire and remind us of the pure, unfiltered love she shared with the world. Jersey Bridgeman's story is a haunting testament to the resilience of the human spirit in the face of unimaginable cruelty. From a young age, Jersey was subjected to horrendous treatment at the hands of those who were supposed to protect her, starting with her father and stepmother. The trauma she endured was not just physical, but also deeply emotional, stripping her of the innocence and carefree joy that should have defined her childhood. After her parents' divorce, it was found that on visits with her father and stepmother, Jersey would be chained to a bedroom dresser for hours on end, left to sit in her own waste with no food or water. Her father originally stated it was to keep her from getting into things she shouldn't in the house, but later admitted it was his substance use that fueled his horrific treatment of Jersey. Her father, David Bridgeman, was given an 18-year prison sentence in 2011, just a year before Jersey's death, after pleading guilty to false imprisonment, among other charges. Prison records show he has a tattoo that says Jersey, which is quite strange considering his treatment of her. Jersey's stepmother, Jana Bridgeman, also identified as Jana Slinkard in court records, admitted the same charges, and was given a 12-year prison sentence, plus 3 years for probation revocation. After enduring horrific treatment at the hands of her father and stepmother, Jersey began her healing journey and went to live with her biological mother, Desiree Bridgeman, full-time. Despite the deep emotional scars inflicted by her father's neglect, Jersey found the strength to remain positive, sharing her beautiful smile as a beacon of hope and testament to the enduring power of the human spirit. Jersey's mom, Desiree, was a hard-working single mother, raising her 2 young daughters. Like most single mothers, she needed help caring for her daughters while she was at work. Desiree's best friend, Amanda, and her new husband, Zach, lived next door and often helped with the girls while Desiree was at work. Amanda and Zach had dated just a few months before getting married, and at this point had been married for about 8 months. So it's safe to say Amanda and Desiree may not have known Zach as well as they both may have thought they did. Zach played a huge role in caring for the girls, but seemed to favor Jersey, often carrying her home and tucking her into bed after Desiree returned from a late shift. On November 19th, 2012, Jersey and her little sister had been staying with Amanda and Zach while Desiree worked the late shift. After arriving home from work, she went next door to gather the girls. Zach carried sleeping Jersey while Desiree carried her youngest daughter, bringing them back to Desiree's and tucking them into bed. Desiree eventually fell asleep, being awoken around 5 a.m. by her youngest daughter crawling into bed with her. She comforted her daughter, and they both drifted back to sleep. The next morning, Desiree woke up about 6 a.m. to get Jersey ready for school, but when she went to her room, she couldn't find Jersey anywhere. Her heart began pounding in her chest. The eerie silence in Jersey's room screamed louder than any sound. Her breath caught in her throat, and her vision blurred with tears as she frantically searched every corner, calling Jersey's name with a voice that cracked under the weight of her mounting fear. She called Amanda to see if Jersey might be over at her house for some reason. Desperation clawed at Desiree's heart as she clutched the phone, Amanda's voice echoing her own growing dread with a rushed, "No, she's not here," sparking a frenzy that sent Amanda to Desiree's house, where Desiree's trembling hands fumbled to dial 911. Her fear mounting with every passing second, Jersey remained missing. As Desiree attempted to speak with the 911 operator, her words became a jumbled mess of desperation and terror. Amanda, seeing her distress, took the phone from her shaking hands and completed the call, her own voice steadying as she relayed the nightmare they were living.
911, what's the address of the emergency?
It's street. My 6-year-old niece is missing. Like, gone. She's vanished. We just woke up to get her off to school, and she's gone.
You just woke up that she's 6? And it was at some point overnight, maybe?
I guess her 2-year-old sister is still here, and they sleep in the same room. But she's gone.
We're sending officers over to your location right now. Do you have any suspicion of who might have taken her?
I have no idea, and I don't think her mom does either.
Is there any way she might have snuck out?
No, all of her mom's doors were locked that I know of, and when she got up this morning, her side door to her laundry room was open. It's not like Jersey. She's never done anything like this.
Law enforcement arrived and began searching for Jersey. An investigation into her disappearance began, starting with interviewing those closest to her. Jersey's body was found later that day just a few hundred feet from her home. She was found in an abandoned house that sat between her house and Amanda and Zach's home. The last thing precious Jersey saw was horrific betrayal and raw evil. Desiree felt a wave of numbness wash over her as the officer's words pierced through the air. Each syllable a dagger to her heart. The world seemed to collapse around her. The vibrant colors of life drained into shades of gray. Desperation clawed at her chest, and a suffocating grief settled in, anchoring her to the ground. Her mind raced, replaying memories of Jersey's laughter and warmth, now forever silenced. An inconsolable ache spread through her soul as she grappled with the stark reality that her worst nightmare had come true.
They called my dad away, and my dad comes back into the living room, and my mom can see it all over his face. They called him to identify the body. I didn't want to believe it. I wanted to believe them. Well, she was still alive, that she was still breathing.
Police send her body straight to the state crime lab and zero in on finding her killer.
They really start with a very methodical approach of looking, knowing that most people are killed by someone close to them. They really start working from the victim's family out.
I kept a pretty tight, close group of friends. I didn't talk to just random people. The people that were near me were the people that I knew the best.
And that's where police move first.
As if things couldn't get any worse for Desiree, Zachary Hawley, someone Desiree trusted and relied on, was arrested on November 26, 2012, 6 days after Jersey's body was found. He was charged with her kidnapping and murder.
My stomach really started hurting because I guess my wife gave me whatever she had. So I remember looking at the time, it was 3:35 because I have to start keeping track of my times because I just cheated on my wife not too long ago. Mm-hmm. So she wants me to keep track of my times. Mm-hmm. So it was about 3:35. I woke her up, told her my stomach was hurting. I was going to Easy Mart to get some Pepto-Bismol. She said that was fine. And Brandon, he was working at the time, so he can vouch, and you can even see the camera.
So it only took you 3 minutes to walk over there?
Yeah, because I talked to Brandon for a little bit. He asked me what I was still doing up, and I was like, dude, just woke up with stomach ache.
Yeah, I understand that. I'm just trying to figure out how you can walk over there in 3 minutes.
Because I just cut through the fence, and it's just straight shot there.
You got through there's a cut through right there?
Yeah, there's a cut through right there.
I gotta ask a tough question, man. Is there any possibility that you did this?
No. If you just take a lie detector with an actual lie detector,
I'd pass it.
you'd pass it.
It's my little girl, man.
I think we can get one arranged for you, okay?
Would you be willing to do that?
I'd be willing to do that. So you're most likely looking at me then, huh?
No, I didn't say that. I said I'm talking to you and I want to do one of two things today. I want to clear you. I don't know you. Okay? I wasn't at your house last night. So any people that are connected closely with this child and this family, we have to look at. It's our job. That's my job as a detective. Okay? So no, I haven't accused you of anything. I haven't said you've done it. None of the sorts. I mean, you're here voluntarily, and we appreciate that.
When can I go home and see my kid? I haven't seen him all day since this morning.
You're here voluntarily. You're here you're free to leave at any time. I told you that when we started.
I didn't do this.
Well, this is where we got this thing set up. And just like Chris said, you're here voluntarily. But if you're doing everything you can to clear your name, we would like to get you over there to do that task.
Or give you the opportunity to talk to us about it.
Either one. I really don't think you need to do that.
I want to go home and see my kid. Wrap my head around things.
Okay.
I need to finish this tomorrow, please.
We went to bed probably, I think last time I looked at my clock was 1. And he woke me up at around 3:30, I guess, and said that he was going to the store to get some Pepto because him and I and my son have all been puking and we've had diarrhea for 3 days.
Okay.
So I don't remember him waking me up. He says he woke me up when he got home. I don't remember. I had taken Tylenol PM last night. I was so sick.
So, I mean, that's why I brought you back in here, because I wanted to confirm with you if, in fact, you remembered him leaving last night and what time he got back.
I don't remember what time he got back. I honestly don't.
So after you guys left, or your husband, did your husband come back?
Yeah,
I guess?
immediately.
Immediately, okay. Just like usual.
Yeah.
Okay.
His usual routine is he'll carry Jers home, put her in her bed, give her a kiss on the head, tell her he loves her, and then he'll see her in the morning.
All right. Anything else that I haven't asked you that you think I should know?
No.
No.
I mean, you asked the key question if I had anything to do with it.
Yeah. Do you know for sure who did though? No. Okay.
I have no clue, and I wish I could. I wish I could tell him who did it. I don't know.
Sure.
I
All
just
right.
want justice for Jersey and closure for Des and I.
Definitely.
I considered that little girl just as much as mine as she was Des.
I understand.
And we've been talking with Zach. He's no longer here voluntarily. He decided to leave. He went to his brother's house.
What are you guys done with him?
He chose to leave on his own accord, which he had the right to do. He was not being detained. He was not under arrest. Okay.
Okay, but were you done with him?
No. Here's the situation, and I understand this is going to be hard. Okay. We are certain that he is involved.
How?
We are certain that he's the one that.
There's no way in hell.
Okay. I understand that. I understand your denial. I understand this is your husband. Obviously, this all happened today, so we haven't gotten any forensic evidence back yet. We're basing this on some of the information that we learned during our interview while speaking with him.
Like what?
I can't get into the particulars on that. Okay?
Due to the fact that her child is at my home with all of my children and my husband, can I call them and tell them to go somewhere else since he's not in custody at this point?
Okay, stop.
He's over at his brother's right now.
That's where you think he's at right now?
First of all, he has no clue where you are. Second of all, this is bullcrap. My husband didn't do this.
He hasn't been arrested or charged yet with anything.
It still makes me very uncomfortable.
He did not do this.
Let me just ask, how would you react if I sat here and directly accused you of doing something like that to a person?
I would go absolutely nuts.
Is that what you do to me? You go absolutely nuts, right?
I would.
And you know what? That's an innocent response. That's not the response we got. And that's why we strongly tried to contact him today to get him up here. All right, because we need to do something there. We need to eliminate him, and I understand he doesn't want to at this point, and that's his decision.
That he doesn't want to. He's scared because everybody's emotions are so high. He's afraid to take it because, as you guys have got to know, when you walk in a police station, your heart starts going like this.
Oh yeah.
I will not let this little girl go without closure. That's my baby. I have raised her. I cook dinner for her every night. I bathe her. I put her to bed. We say prayers. That's my baby. I want to do whatever it takes. So if that means I have to drag my husband in here by his hair, I will.
What's going on?
They're trying to blame me, baby.
That's why they said that they suspect you, so why would they suspect you?
I don't know. I was in bed with you all night, except for when I went to go get Pepto.
I know, and I understand that. But why'd you leave? That makes you look guilty.
My stomach was hurting, baby. I mean,
No, why did you leave the police station?
because they were trying to get me to say something that I didn't do. I was sick of them being all up in my face telling me, oh, you need to do this, you need to do this. It's good if you do this. Come on, just say it. So I was like, no. I want to go home and talk to my wife and my son. And I'm going to get a hold of a lawyer tomorrow. So I'm not going down for something I didn't do.
I know you didn't do it, honey. I know you would never hurt her.
I need you to come over.
As soon as I leave, I will.
I don't know what to do, baby.
I know this has been tough on you, this whole thing. I mean, this has been obviously huge. You know, I mean, and your loss and all the issues you've probably endured with, people talking and not knowing what's going on, and I mean, the media, and I mean that's a big pressure right in itself. I mean, not being able to go home, be able to walk outside your door, and not being able to get a camera stuck in your face, and and
watching every car drive by.
People's probably, I'm sure they've been stopping in front of your house, haven't they?
Oh yeah.
You feel like an elephant sitting on your chest right now?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't imagine it.
It's a lot of pressure.
Are you doing all right with it?
I'm working on it. I have good moments and I have my bad moments. But sorry to change the subject.
Yeah.
You said you want to talk to me about stuff.
Okay, yeah, I did. In fact, there's a couple things we wanted to go over. I'll let JC cover part of it, and I'll cover the other part. Two things. We got your results from your polygraph here. Okay. We also did get results from the crime lab. Okay. The polygraph results indicated deception, meaning that you failed the test. Okay, on the deceptive response questions. Okay, do you remember what those questions were?
Not all of them.
Okay, you did fail that. That basically speaks for itself. In fact, the results are what they are. Okay.
We don't think you're a bad guy, man. We just. Everybody, there's a reason for this that you got to tell us about, and that's why we're here, want to talk to you. And we got to talk about that stuff. And I know it's hard. This is going to be the hardest thing you ever got to talk about in your life. I promise you. But once it's out in the blue and it's over, it's over.
We got to talk about it for the sake of Jersey.
Look at her, bro.
I can't survive. My whole life is gone.
Zach, that's not true. Your whole life isn't gone.
Yes, it is. With this, you're going to get my wife to divorce me.
No.
You're going to take my kid.
No. I mean, here's the thing. Amanda's been there for you. Amanda's been there with you and she's not gonna back away.
You end up throwing me in prison for this.
Zach,
I can't survive.
Zach, that's not what we're trying to do here. Didn't you love Jersey? Okay. I know you did. Look, you're wearing her shirt. But Zach, the first step to this is you've got to let it go. You've got to let it go, man.
Desiree's world was shattered when she learned of Zach's unimaginable betrayal. The shockwaves of this revelation rippled through their close-knit community, where neighbors who once exchanged friendly smiles were now consumed with suspicion and fear. Jersey's story, so grim and unfathomable, erupted in the news, capturing the attention of people across the globe. The narrative of a trusted friend and neighbor committing such an atrocity defied comprehension and left a lasting scar on the hearts of those who believed in the goodness of their fellow man. It was a chilling reminder of the darkness that can lurk behind familiar faces, shaking the very foundation of trust within the community. Amanda Hawley's world crumbled the moment she learned that her husband Zach was arrested for the kidnapping and murder of Jersey. The disbelief and horror gnawed at her soul as she grappled with the unimaginable truth that the man she loved and thought she could trust could be capable of such a heinous act. Each passing day felt like a never-ending nightmare, and the once warm memories of their life together turned cold and haunting. Amanda's heart ached with sorrow so profound it seemed to consume her, leaving her to question every aspect of their life and the person she thought she knew. The day after Zach was arrested, Amanda blocked his Facebook account and changed her relationship status from married to divorced. A few months later, Amanda filed for a protection order for her and her young son against Zach. She stated he continually called her from jail. In a 3-day span, Zach called Amanda 33 times. She did not answer any of his calls and considered the calls threatening. She also stated members of Zach's family were reaching out to her, trying to relay messages from Zach. Amanda stated in the protection order, "I have told him I want him to leave my son and I alone, that we want nothing to do with him. He is still continuing. I have received 7 letters from him stating how much he loves and misses my son. I want it to stop." Her protection order was granted, with Zach being ordered to have no contact with her or her son for the period of 10 years. Zach showed no remorse for his crimes and pled not guilty to Jersey's murder. He was convicted and sentenced to death in 2015. He stood in court, his eyes devoid of any genuine emotion, as he offered a hollow apology to Jersey's grieving family. The words fell flat, a stark contrast to the heinous crime he had committed. His attempt at contrition was rendered meaningless, as he simultaneously filed an appeal against his conviction. A person truly remorseful for such a monstrous act would have accepted the justice system's punishment with humility, but Zach's actions only deepened the wounds of those already suffering from an unimaginable loss. In 2017, his death sentence was upheld, and his appeal was denied. But Zach wasn't done yet. In 2023, he was back in court fighting his death sentence once again. In documents filed ahead of the hearing on Monday, October 30th, 2023, his lawyers argued that his original trial attorneys were ineffective and that he had an unfair trial. They claim his trial lawyers should have gone deeper into the evidence surrounding Zach's childhood and how it affected his mental illness long term. They say his trial lawyers erroneously did not provide an expert on the stand to testify about Zach's mother's alleged substance and alcohol use during her pregnancy and how that impacted him. The lawyers also argue that his defense during the trial didn't obtain unredacted files from DHS, which reportedly investigated SA and physical trauma against Zach when he was a minor, according to filings. A psychologist diagnosed Zach with stress-related adjustment disorders, a personality disorder, a dependency on substances, along with a learning disorder as a result of childhood trauma. So Zach now desperately clings to the "I had childhood trauma" excuse in a last-ditch attempt to appeal his death sentence, a move that is both infuriating and deeply traumatizing for Jersey's family. His troubled past does not grant him the right to rob an innocent child of her future, and if he were truly remorseful, he would face his sentence with the same gravity he imposed on Jersey's family. Instead, his cowardice shines through as he tries to evade the consequences of his heinous actions. It is both ironic and infuriating that he can mercilessly take the life of a child, yet trembles at the thought of facing his own end. His actions reveal a profound lack of accountability and an unwillingness to confront the full weight of his crimes, further compounding the anguish of those who mourn Jersey. In April of 2024, a judge upheld Zach's death sentence. Jersey's tragedy is a harrowing reminder of the vigilance required in protecting our children. It's a tale that pierces the heart with raw emotion, demanding that we, as parents and guardians, scrutinize those we allow into our homes. Desiree lost her precious daughter at the hands of someone she trusted implicitly, a betrayal so profound it shakes the very foundation of parental trust. Amanda, in her quest for companionship, unknowingly invited a monster wearing a mask into her sanctuary. She married someone she barely knew, a man whose history of childhood trauma and extensive criminal record painted a grim portrait of a tormented and dangerous individual. This decision tragically culminated in Jersey's murder and endangered her own son, exposing him to unimaginable risk. Jersey's story is more than a personal loss. It is a societal call to action. We cannot let her death be in vain. It is imperative that we learn from this heart-wrenching event, becoming ever more vigilant and discerning in the company we keep around our children. We must advocate tirelessly for their safety, ensuring that every decision we make is rooted in their protection and well-being. Children are our most precious gift from God, innocent and trusting, deserving of our utmost care and diligence. As a society, we must do better. We owe it to Jersey and to every child to create a world where their safety is paramount. We need to foster communities that prioritize the well-being of their youngest members, where vigilance is a shared responsibility, and where the masks of deceit are swiftly uncovered. Jersey's memory can serve as a beacon, guiding us toward a future where children can thrive without fear, secure in the love and protection of those who truly have their best interests at heart. Let her legacy be one of heightened awareness and unwavering commitment to the safety of our children. In the shadow of sorrow, we honor beautiful little Jersey by sharing her story with the world, a tale silenced too soon by a cruel act of violence. Her laughter and light will never fade from our hearts, and through our voices, we vow to be her echo, raising awareness to protect other children from a similar fate. Jersey's spirit guides us, ensuring that her memory endures, a poignant reminder that we must stand vigilant and united as the darkness that sought to silence her. We will never forget her, and we will forever be her voice.